Alright YouTube, welcome back to another boxing glove review, and as you can tell, it's about the Everlast MX training gloves. So chanced upon these gloves and I've had 4 weeks to use them on the heavy bag. So I'll give you my take on them in regards to physical make of it, how the structure, is it well made or is it a pass, and how it feels when you put it on your hands and hit the bags. Okay, so we'll just go through the external first, materials, anything fraying, whether any color looks weird, and then after that we'll go into when you put your hands inside. Okay, so the outside, this is made of leather. So these are the training gloves version, so the MX2. Nice print and fonts on the thumbs. That's your Everlast and the logo. And okay, I'll do one thing straight away. I'll do the negatives first, and then I'll go to the positives. I tried to spray those anti-stink kind of product inside here to look after the gloves, and immediately the next day the bleeding, so I sprayed on the inside, and I think that's what happened. All this bleeding came from the inside, and these were white gloves when I got them, and now this looks whatever color you want to call it, pinkish, purplish. Oh, is that the blood of the animal coming out saying move? So that's all the bleeding. Yeah, there too, see here, that's where all the color came out. So I was like a bit bummed. See, this is what it normally looks like, so maybe that's the actual color, and then it's bleeding through the white. And this part of the glove is the paint ink is coming out because of the wear and tear, the ink contact. So all these contact areas, are wearing, where the rest have no contact. The paint ink is still there. So it says Hecho en Mexico, made in Mexico. And I weighed them in the beginning. They were exactly the same weight, like 15.4 something. Have to see the previous video. And the stitching is, it's held together. There's no fraying. There's no excuse for me not to like these gloves for the stitching bit. Everything's held together. It looks like it could tear away, but it hasn't. I'm sure in a few years it will, but right now, after 4 weeks of use, that's your stitching. And see how the leather's bunched up. That's what it looks like, eh? When you kind of like wrinkle, you can see that. But that's the leather. So that's the only negative thing, the bleeding of from inside to out. There you go. See, that's the right hand. I showed you first the left hand, now this is the right hand, so that's all where it came out. So this was a white pair of gloves, and I only can anticipate it's because I sprayed. I can't think of anything else. So look, so it's all the same spot here. So here, gone, and here, and here. And another thing, before I forget, what I didn't like was when there was one training when I had my hands inside, I felt the pinching of these. So because there's an extra bar there, so there's a normal grip bar here, there's another one over there. This part, my fingers kind of felt squished and like sandwiched, like I could feel the restriction, and maybe could end up people with bigger, thicker, fuller fingers, they would find that not comfortable, because I was feeling like, oh, am I going to get cut off with my circulation? But kind of work through the workout, so no big deal. So those are the only two negative things I can think of. All right. So still structurally, these have nice. I've already gone through my first impression, but so I'll go a bit faster this time around. You got nice text prints on there. It's still holding together. I really like this. I don't have any other gloves like this, so it's like a flap, a really thick piece of leather, and then a thick, denser padding on the inside. So I like this because I think this gives these training gloves very good wrist support. It's like a brace that kind of holds everything in place, doesn't let you make a fancy wrist like that. So I do like this option for these gloves. I did not realize just having thicker leather on the outside and a dense padding on the inside made the difference to wrench your wrist into position and make it feel secure and safe. This was designed to have like a slate and like just go with each other and make it feel tight. So I think they succeeded in that part of designing this. So the density of this is way denser than anything I've ever had in my glove collection, and I like this combination of dense on the inside, thinner, and then an actual thick piece of leather outside to help do this, make your wrist feel very secure. I really like this. Is a standout for these gloves, that part of these gloves, the design. So the thumb is nice density, medium density, covering on the top of it, and I felt comfortable with my thumb. I didn't feel like it was going to penetrate through to the bag or cause any injury. Nothing happened, so everything's good. Nice short attachment there, good design, kind of like does the job. And the leather is spot on. Has a nice lingering faint smell of leather, not overpowering like some people may not like it too overpowering. So this is a dense-ish grip bar. So it goes from here to there. It doesn't stop up like anywhere. And there's another one inside the glove compartment where these parts of your fingers has something else to grip onto. So that is just leather. This is just leather with your fingers on. The padding starts from here onwards up. So leather, padding all the way there and back, and then this is another part. See, it's good. It doesn't go floppy, and to me, I think that's a good sign. It's good wrist support, and it's strong structurally. This one has a nice, maybe this much thickness of padding on the inside and outside. Outside seems to be denser than inside. Inside feels a bit more comfortable. This one feels a bit dense on the outside. So I'm having a sniff. I just had a sniff on the inside. On the fabric, I can anticipate if I didn't clean this, it would start to stank. So it's more of a cottonish. It's not silky smooth kind of fabric on the inside. So these bits feel a bit more frictionless. These have a bit more friction. So the back of your hands have more friction with the material, but the sides seem to have a silky smooth sensation. Yeah, that's a silky smooth. And then there's just leather on the inside. Yeah, when you go in on this part, so when you put your hand in, this is really like small space, and you like it's not a lot of space in like clitorias where you have a lot of moving space. This one, once you put your fingers in, gets in there, it's like a cave, and it goes sloop, and you like literally go in exactly like that. So it's not there's no room for movement at all when you put your hands in. Yeah, it's like locked in, ready to go, Top Gun. That's it. So that's how much you can wide. That's how much I can expand it. That's about it. That's it. Makes a really nice fist. Makes it, for me, it's comfortable because my hands are either medium or a bit small. I don't know. I reckon they're medium sized, maybe a bit smaller. Who knows? And yeah, so that here. So material, leather, nice leather. Construction, very nice. Stitching's all good. The paint or ink does wear off places of contact. When I sprayed the anti-stank material, it started to bleed, so that's the only negative I can get for this. And the feel, yeah, when you put it in, it's very snug. So those of you who like a lot of room in your glove, this is not your glove. There is no room to move. It's literally like a cockpit. Everything just fits. There's no like party time. It's gets in there, and then when you get someone to winch it in, this feels really nice. And that is the extent of my movement. So that also stops the movement, yeah. I think that's a very good combination to help my wrists not get injured as easily if you're inclined to that kind of thing. And this feels very secure. My brain does not think anymore, is this going to be okay? Once you lock it in, you're like, okay, that's going to do the job. And then when I started hitting the bag, I did not have to lay off the first few hits. It was just comfortable the first time in. I just could lay them, no bruises on my knuckles, thumb didn't hurt, wrist didn't hurt. I was like, these were ready to go straight off the bat, first one. So it's, do I like these gloves? You can guess what I'm gonna say. Padding is nice density to my preference. So you call them, I would say medium density, and if you have to have a good angle on the bag to get a pop. If you use this bit of your knuckle, like your door knockers, you go pap 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 pap, but once you go flush, pop. There's a nice pop to it. So I would say protects your fingers everywhere. So when you pop punch, I don't always get on my knuckles, which are there. A lot of times I punch here, and sometimes even when I'm lazy, I like a bitch like puppy. So that's actually my door knockers. So I need to like do this to get my actual knuckles for boxing. But I do recognize these bits does hit the bag sometimes. So that's when I don't get a nice pop. So it needs to be really nice and flush. Both gloves are made similar, same size, so I don't have any experience one being bigger than the other. So the left side is the same thing, goes in snug, like snug is the word operative. Yank it in. Yeah, you see when I do that, it's like your brain, something subconsciously happens. It's time to work, buddy. Let's go. That I really like that. It's like subconscious cueing, clink, time for battle. Really nice. So I like that's a standout part for me. I like this bit, and see. So knuckles there, same thing. Because of the design, there's a lot of padding here. If I don't hit it properly, so I need to like, the sound is like an indicator for me. When I hit it nice and flush, it's nice pop. When I hit it on these bits, it's like, nah. So, what do you reckon I'm going to say about these gloves? You should know already what I'm going to say. I love these gloves. Why? What's my criteria of loving gloves? The materials look very good. They seem like they are good quality build. Doesn't look like it's breaking apart very easily. The sewing on the inside, all the fabric, nothing's coming out. Though I think it will get stanky, so maybe get a better material so it wicks away. I think this one will just absorb and just keep all your manly goodness or womanly goodness in there and remind you need a shower buddy. And when you put your hands in, so this will not be for everyone, because if you got a bigger hand, longer fingers, and stubbier hands, fingers, this will probably be too small for you, too uncomfortable for you, because this fits like a glove for me. So I'm anticipating those of you with bigger hands, longer fingers. Oh yeah, by the way, that's a 12 ounce. So I haven't tried the 14 or 16. I don't know how much difference that is, but that is like, I am happy to use this forever. So now it's like, winning is always psychologically the number one, but this is a very close, if not sharing, maybe like a tiny millimeter below it. So that's how good I would rank this. My winnings are still number one. I think it's a more of a, winning is a psychological, its reputation precedes it, so I might have been affected by it. It is a very good pair of gloves. This one, I like it because my winnings are 14, this is 12, and I didn't feel any question of, am I going to be protected and am I going to be hurt? Boxing gloves, my category of whether I like it, does it protect my knuckles, my hand, and does it make my wrist feel secure? All of the above is yes. And bonus, if the materials and structure are good, that's an extra bonus. So the bonus round is structure, materials, very big tick. Does it make me feel supported my wrist? Very big tick. And finally, my hands, can I throw and not think about it ever? Yes. So this would be, if not, yeah, I still want to give winnings number one. So this would be a very close. If this was winnings, this is just like a little bit below. So that's my take. All right, hopefully there was enough information for you. Please comment or ask questions. I'm happy to have a chat about these gloves, and if I miss anything or you want to clarify more stuff, let me know. If not, see you in the next one. Bow.